Today's video, I'm going to show you how to use optical flares to make videos look better for films and videos. This is an example of what we are going to be doing in today's video. So as you can see in the video, I used optical flares for the car lights to look much brighter, and they look a lot more cinematic and more for something you would see in a film. This is what it looked like before. So just like before, he gets in the car, and the car turns on, the lights also turn on. And you can see this is the default GTA 5 optical flares for the car. For mine, I did go a little bit over the top with the lights. They are extremely bright. You can always turn them down and edit them. But before we can actually start to make this, you need a plugin called Optical Flares. This is a plugin made by Video Copilot. If you do not have it installed, I have a video to show you how to install it. So click on that video if you do not have it, but if you do, what you want to do is you want to open up your After Effects. First thing is to create a new composition. I'm going to create mine as 720, so 1280 by 720. My video is 60 FPS, so I'm going to make it the same frame rate, and it's going to be 16 seconds because that's how long my clip is. Leave the background as default and press OK. Once you've got this, what you want to do is go to your folder where you've got your clip and just drag it in to the library right here. Once it's loaded up, just drag it in the timeline, and now we have it loaded. A useful thing to do is go down here where it says full and set that to half. That just makes it a little bit faster for your computer to preview the video because it halves the quality. Now, what you want to do is you want to get to the part of the clip where the optical flares are gonna be applied to. So for me, as you can see, it is when the car lights are turned on, but I am gonna skip one more frame ahead, and you can see the lights have now fully turned on in the game. What we want to do now is we want to go over to here and create a new light. This is what we are gonna use for the optical flares to follow. So the light type will be on point, and leave everything as it is, or just copy my settings. You can give it a name, but I'm just going to leave it on light 1. Press OK. And this message will come up telling you that your video is 3D and you should use the other type of path follow for optical flares. There's a spotlight and there's this light, which is more of 2D, but it's still okay to use. Just press OK. And you can see now you have this little thing right here. To make the optical flares actually follow this light right here, we're going to use this. You're going to keep moving it up, down, and sideways until you get it in the right position. So for me, I'm going to put it right in between the lights right here. Once you're happy with it, you want to press P on your keyboard. This will bring you the position. Click on this little stopwatch and then go over to the end of this clip where the video ends, or you want to stop the optical flares. For me, I'm just going to drag this up because that's all I need to do. If your video is more different to mine, let's say you are using optical flares for the sun or something else, what you'll need to do is just keep on plotting these points until it follows it throughout the video. But for me, a straight line is just perfect. As you can see, it is following this. What you want to do now is go back to the start of it, and we are going to create the optical flare now by going to here, right clicking and going to new, then solid. Make sure it is the same width and height. Pixels, leave that on default, and just leave the color on default. Press OK. Once again, you can give it a name, but I don't really give them names because I know which one's which. Now that you've created the solid, we want to go to Effect and go down to Video Copilot, then Optical Flares. Once Optical Flares is loaded up, we want to go to Options. When you get to the screen, this is all the templates that you'll have by default. I'm going to use one of them because I don't have enough time to make one. But if you like to make one, you can use the template and then just edit it. But I'm going to go into motion graphics, and the one that I used for that video preview was this one right here called Monster Flare. The one problem with this one is that it is very bright, so if you want to turn down the brightness of your flare, you will have something called glow, and you want to turn down this. This is the opacity of it, so how much of a glow you want it to have, and this is the size of it. Keep on messing with the settings until you're happy with them. I am also going to turn down this little circle right here. Where is, oh, there it is. So the circle right there, just turn down the opacity, and I quite like it like that. Once you're happy with it, just press OK. You can save it in here if you wanted to, but I'm just going to leave it for now. I'm going to press OK, and you can see now it is applied. The problem is now that you can see the optical flare is just not doing anything. It's standing still. It's on its own. So what we want to do is we want to go to where it says source type in the properties of the optical flare and set this one to track lights. What this does is that it will follow what we created. So that point that we created, it is now going to follow it. To make the optical flare actually appear in the video, we want to go to mode and set this to add. This will add it into your video. For me, this optical flare is quite bright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press T on the optical flare layer and turn down the opacity to about 40. Let's say 45. I quite like that a bit more. The next thing you want to do is you want to drag this all the way to where the optical flare starts. So for me, it is right here. If you want to zoom in to see it better, use this down here. And we can see now that it is in sync. But the problem is we've only applied it to one light. So the next thing to do is to apply it to the other side. And this is really simple. All you need to do is click on the light and your optical flare, hold in shift to highlight them both. Once you've done that, you want to press Ctrl and D. This will just duplicate the layers. I'm going to move mine up here. If you get a little bit confused, you could change the color here just to make it less confusing. So let's just change this to purple, and then we'll leave this one to red just to separate them both. And now what we want to do is we want to hide this one and that one. So we can see our image. You want to go to light 2 and press P. Once you've done that, we're going to change the position of it. To do that, to move left, we're going to use this here and move it over to the left side. Right about there. Once you're happy with it, you click on here and you do Control C to copy this position. Once you've done that, you'll go all the way to the end, click on this keyframe, and you go to the same place again and paste it in there. And now you can see it's moved it over. If we quickly preview this, it is the same as the left side. So now we can go back to here, turn these on. And that is pretty much it. That's how you make the optical flares. Strangely enough, I am having a little problem with mine. There's a little bit of an error or glitch. The problem I'm having right now is that they are just overlapping each other, so they're kind of conflicting. But anyway, that has been how to use optical flares. For me, at the end, it did bug out, and it is really annoying me now because I don't know what the problem is. If you know what the problem is, then leave a comment, because I honestly don't know why. It worked perfectly fine before I did this, and in that preview video I must have done something wrong, but it should still work for you. So if you found this video helpful, leave a thumbs up. Shows other people that it was still quite a good video, I guess, even after this little bug or error. Subscribe if you'd like to see more tutorials and help videos for YouTube. Anyway, I will see you in my next video. Bye.